Let's talk about Joy Reid. I'm so torn. Oh, Victor, I'm so torn. You know, I'm thrilled she's gone. She literally was the most racist person on television. Her and her most favorite guest, Ellie Mistel. So they deserve 100% both to be fired. But, you know, it's like we won't have her to kick around anymore. And there's a little sadness in that. This is one of the many reasons why most of us are absolutely delighted to see her get fired from this show. And it appears from MSNBC. Tonight, we believe, will be her last.
All right. So, okay, Megyn, you know, shout out to Megyn Kelly. Like I said, you know, my thing was this. I just feel weird about being like, yay, she's fired, you know, because I don't know, man. Like I start to think of myself, and I'm like, man, I just hope nobody ever says that about me. But also, I would not act the way that she does, so I can't get in the way of anybody who's excited about it. Okay, Megyn has every right to be excited about it. I mean, these are the type of people, Joy Reid, who does not at all, like, there's no regard at all, just no awareness, makes the most vile racial comments on air. Like, it's disgusting and dumb comments. So I get Megyn's excitement, and far be it from me. I'm not here to defend Joy Reid, but I am still covering the excitement coming from people. And the conservatives are receiving backlash, actually, for being excited, which I do think is insane.
Last night, a little walk down memory lane in Satwan.
But in America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like, bring waterworks.
Ron DeSantis is absolutely disgusting, like some of the stuff that she said. Like, they Karen out, and then they bring waterworks. First of all, I'm a crybaby, okay, and I'm not white. But, but believe me, I don't miss a chance to, drop some tears up in his bed. No. But like, girl, you scream racism every day. You probably scream racism about this horrible makeup job that they did on you with this wig, even if it was a black girl doing it. So stop. You a black Karen, whatever that is, right? It's just ridiculous. It really is. Oh, man. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
Has been waging a full-scale war against the black past. It's illegal to make white people feel uncomfortable in Florida.
You also have the restrictions in schools over what can be taught about race and gender for fear white children might feel bad when they find out that not all white people in history were heroes. Do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence? These Republicans are dangerous. They're dangerous to our national security because stoking...
Yo, did you hear, like, what she said that, you know, white kids... they would be sad to find out that not all white people are heroes. How do you talk about children like that, you know? Like, at least, I mean, it's trifling. The stuff that she says is horrible anyway, right? But to talk about kids like that, to be like, well, now the kids can't learn that not everybody was a white hero. Like, they should learn that and be upset, and it would make me happy. But they're like, this girl was a special witch. You know what? You know what? She had to go. You know what? Hey, maybe we will, you know, I'll celebrate it, because this type of divisiveness is not normal on national television. And she sat there and was paid for it and didn't ask questions. They used her up as much as they needed to, and they got rid of her. So, you know, that's fine. She's sick.
That kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hard. From the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want, a black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges. They're just voting specifically on racial animus. At this stage, it isn't about economics. No. They want to turn every state into their white Christian nationalist hell. It's DEFCON 1, y'all. Take action and stay woke.
Wow. Wow. My mouth just dropped. Megyn Kelly got some good gems. You mean to tell me that Joy Reid was out here telling people is DEFCON 1 on white people? You remember somebody who said it was DEFCON. And look, and I didn't like the way that sounded too, by the way, when Kanye did it to the Jews. Like, I wasn't like, oh, yeah, I mean, that's what he said. Because I just was like, that sounds bad. That sounds really kind of bad. Like, I don't know. I would have felt that way about any group, right? But Joy Reid was able to keep her job after she said it was DEFCON 1 on white people? Oh, wow. Okay.
So, we'll miss her a little, I guess. Victor, what do you make of the fact that even MSNBC finally had enough?
Yeah, I mean, if you had just substituted the word black for white and any other person had said what she did and just said black instead of white, they would have been fired in 24 hours. She knew that too. So I remember though, you remember Megyn when she first got on, she had this whole paper trail of being a homophobe. You remember that? And then she said, I'm going to get the FBI to investigate because I was hacked. And then she completely lied on the air. She was never hacked. And then she said she may not have been hacked, but she couldn't. Then she said she was almost as if she was in a suspended state of animation. I may have written this, but I don't remember ever saying this. And it was so pathetic.
Like
she would have been, she should have been fired for that. And then she had a big rant once, I remember, where she was mad that so-called white women had cornrows and this was cultural appropriation and she was going to wear authentic black hairstyles. And then all of a sudden she started wearing blonde. She dyed her hair blonde and straight.
She looked like Trump.
Wow. Yeah. And I thought, wow, you're culturally, why do you want to look like an Anglo-Saxon after you gave a lecture that nobody
Why can't I wear the cornrows or have my daughter get cornrows in the Bahamas on a trip?
You can, right? But like, I mean, some of this, like, let's keep it real, right? So this is why white people are like, please, man, if I can bestow anything upon y'all, stop letting people tell y'all that y'all are racist, man. Like, F it. Even if you come off that way, maybe you even are. Who cares, right? Because nobody cared. Look, I'm not promoting any kind of violence or telling you to do weird things. I'm just saying don't accept the labels that are handed to you unless they've been given by God. That's how I feel. Because this girl sat here and said, we're going to go DEFCON 1 on the white people. My God. Nobody lost their mind over like that. Is insane. Tucker Carlson used to go off about this. You know, and so you can have the cornrows, do whatever you want. Joy Reid is something out of this world. Wow.
Yep. But she can take my hair. She can try to imitate my hair. No problem whatsoever.
So all I'm saying is that she was a sad person. She had a horrible, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze her, but she was terribly insecure. And it came out, it just exuded from her, insecurity. And she was thrashing around. And it was really the problem of the management to put her out there. They should have yanked her from the very beginning. And that Elie Mystal, he was an outright racist. I remember he said right after COVID, I got used to not seeing white people anymore, and it was a good feeling. And he just said things that were, I mean, they were horribly racist, and they kept spouting that filth, and it was horrible. And nobody ever said anything. And then
you do have to wonder how come the owners of that network allowed them to talk about white people like that too, right? I mean, because like are we gonna have the conversation or are we not? Right? I mean, again, she's disgusting. This is not an excuse for her, but who's allowing that kind of narrative to go on? I mean, to even that Elie Mystal to say that kind of stuff. What does that have to do with today's news? Right? Like, what does that have to do with today's news? I'm not saying you have to just report the news like a robot, but this is just a bit much. Let me show y'all who this Elie Mystal is, and why Victor Davis Hanson is so right about what he said about insecurities. This is that Elie guy, okay? Busted, boy. He's busted, right? I mean, like, I'm not even going to apologize for saying it. I mean, this is a busted guy, and he is.
The danger is in covering Trump 2.0, how do we deal with this? Because these things have real implications. Everything Joyce just described, people are affected by this.
They told you exactly what they were going to do and exactly how you were going to do it. And a majority of white people voted for this. This is the disgusting version of America that people want. And oh, by the way, eggs are still more expensive. So you didn't even get that. Great job, white folks. In terms of how we cover it as a media or as a media group, right? We have to stop acting like any of these things have any basis in reality, right? Your earlier segment about birthright citizenship is a perfect example of how you should cover it. There is no question about whether or not birthright citizenship is constitutional. It just is, right? There is no question about whether or not the Civil Rights Act should apply. It just does. And every time the media tries to...
All right. So anyway, you got like a little taste of that, right? And so these are the people who, a lot of times, though, I'm going to keep it real with you. You'll see somebody who looks like this. Because I used to say to myself, like, how can this guy sit here in front of white people and say, some of the stuff that he was saying? And this is still, it's not fair for me that I can't find him in his glory of disgusting. Like, that was bad enough, but he's worse than that. Anyway, I used to be like, yo, how white people could sit here and let him talk to them like that? Somebody like this does not consider himself white. You need to know this. You figure out the rest. Because I've been saying a lot these past few days, and I'm noticing that I don't know if I'm losing people over. And look, you deserve the truth. Somebody like this, more than likely, does not consider himself white. You figure out, you add the rest. But yes, Joy Reid is gone, and I don't know how much more of this guy they're going to have. They're not messing around. They're coming to get these people, and it is what it is. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.